As some of you may know, the next Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones 5, was scheduled to go into production in early of 2019 and was to hit theaters on July 10th of 2020. However, that's not going to happen anymore. From Variety, the fifth film in the adventure series will miss its original release date. Filming was supposed to begin in April 2019 in the United Kingdom, but sources close to the production say that shooting will no longer start next spring and will have to be pushed back by months, if not a year. Potential crew members have already been informed of the delay. See, part of the issue is that key members of the creative team have yet to sign off on a finished script. Speaking of which, this came after reports emerged that solo co-writer Jonathan Kasdan had been brought on to write the project for Indiana Jones 5. Now, writer David Koepp, who also wrote such films as Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, and the first Spider-Man movie, was penning the script for a time, but apparently that job has now been passed on to Kasdan. Now, it's important to note here that the original Raiders of the Lost Ark was written by Jonathan Kasdan's father, Lawrence Kasdan, who also co-wrote Solo with Jonathan. At this point, it's unknown if Kasdan is simply touching up Koepp's script or rewriting it entirely or something else. If Indy 5 can even make it into theaters by 2021, Ford will be 78 years old at the premiere, and that's if they can get a movie done by 2021. Kind of like the Halo movie, this is a project we have been talking about for years. They've been talking about doing another Indiana Jones film for years. I mean, all the way back from when I was still at AMC, for heaven's sakes, they were talking about another Indiana Jones film. Finally, they nailed down a release date. This is where we're going into production, yada, yada, yada. And now it's being delayed again. And I'm telling you what, this could go beyond 2021. Now, we're supposed to come out in summer of 2020. Now, minimum is going to be 2021. And look, we all know that Steven Spielberg has 3 or 4 films on his docket right now that he's supposed to be getting ready to spin up and go with, right? Those films could push Indiana Jones back even further. But the question becomes, how much further can you actually push it when Harrison Ford's going to be 78 years old in 2021 when the damn movie may or may not even come out? I mean, at some point, you have to wonder if there is a clock ticking on this. And I've got to say, I am starting to doubt that this movie's ever going to happen. I really don't think you can underestimate how big of a deal Steven Spielberg's schedule is. Because you don't just fit in doing a movie over a weekend. That's like a 6-month-long commitment, and he's got other projects he wants to do. And why they haven't been able to get to a script to a point that they're happy with after all these years is still kind of beyond me. Like, bringing in a new scriptwriter, okay, clearly they're still committed to doing it. I get it. But at what point do you start hearing the clicking clock, the ticking of the clock going click, 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 click? I mean, at some point, you got to think, look, you've got to have a drop dead date. We've got to be in production on this thing by January of 2020, or there's no point in doing it. So I'm starting to feel like there might be even a 30% chance, 25 maybe 30% chance that this film never happens. Now, that still means I think there's a 70 to 75% chance that it does, but I'm honestly starting to wonder, they got to get this thing